was able to provide a lot of charms to the people. So we would like to talk about the charms of Nishiki-goi. So the first point, yesterday, the members of the diplomatic corps were able to actually see Nishiki-goi in the actual fish farms. And most of you here today are already familiar with this, but we would like to just confirm some of the definitions. In English, we say carp for koi. And in Nishiki-goi, we Japanese call it Nishiki-goi. I mean, generally speaking, overseas, Nishiki-goi is called koi. But in Japan, when we say koi, it means carp on the left upper side. But for our overseas friend, when they generally say koi, that means Nishiki-goi on the upper right-hand side. So this is where we have to be aware that there is a difference. So what is Nishiki for Nishiki-goi? It means this very brocade, very precious brocade. And so Nishiki-goi directly translates as brocade carp. So as you know, Nishiki-goi was developed as a result of selective breeding from the wild carp. So this was an artificially created creature. So I said that in overseas, Nishiki-goi is generally called koi, and that has become a very popular term. And in the Merriam-Webster's College at Dictionary in the United States, koi can be found, along with other Japanese terms like tsunami and sushi. So koi in English means Nishiki-goi, not the wild carp. So carp, koi, and Nishiki-goi, these are three words that we have to be acutely aware of the differences. So today, we will be talking about Nishiki-goi. So when we say koi in the summit, we mean Nishiki-goi. And this is also something that you have seen repeatedly since yesterday. But the birthplace of Nishiki-goi is inside Niigata Prefecture. So it is the area between Nagaoka City and Ojiya City. So today we have two administrative districts, Ojiya and Nagaoka. But this was under Nijumura country, under one administration in the old days. So it is in the Yamaoka district of Nijugomura. So generally speaking, it is this area. So we are in the city of Niigata now, and we're looking at an area that is a bit south of Niigata City. And this is the map of Japan, and we will be zooming in. So from where we are now, Nijumura County is this area where I indicated in red. It might be a bit difficult to see, but there are some characteristics of this region, if you can notice this. So inside this red circle, if we zoom in further, this is the topography. And as you can see over here, we have a lot of dots. These dots are the locations of where the fish ponds are located. And this is a very unique topography if we take a bird's eye view. And it's concentrated in this area. And it looks like this. So these are the former rice paddies, and the rice paddies were converted into fish ponds. And this is the scenery. So it's a very unique scenery. And with this landscape that consists of rice terraces and fish ponds is a beautiful region. That is a scenery that was created by Nishiki-goi. And I would like to show you a drone video of this region. This was taken by a person called Mark Gardner, who has visited Ojiya and Yamagoshi many times. And he is from Great Britain, and he is a Nishiki-goi journalist and photographer. He was a very popular person, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, he passed away last year at a young age of 49. He was a very nice man. So I would like to share with you the drone video taken by this gentleman. He was a very superb photographer, and as you can see with this bird's eye view, it is very beautiful. And in addition to still photographs, he also took a lot of drone videos. And these are all fish ponds. So in the valleys inside the mountains, there are many fish ponds. These originally were rice paddies. And the Nishikigoi production in this area began with rice paddy fish farms because they were nurturing young koi in the rice paddies while also cultivating rice. So this was how Nishikigoi originated. In the old days, these were all rice cultivation paddies. And with the development of the Nishikigoi industry, with Nishikigoi becoming an indispensable source of industry and business, farmers began to convert the rice paddies into fish ponds. And rather than converting them into real full-scale ponds, they are created in a way that they can be converted back into rice paddies when necessary. So it is a mountainous area with many, many ponds. It is a very unique scenery that you can see here in Japan, like this. And what is very beautiful is during the winter season with the snow. Mark took many beautiful pictures, and this shows the awe of nature and the mosaic-type pattern of snow-covered mountainous valleys. And it looks like small pieces of tiles were put together. And this is a creation of nature, and I think it is a piece of art that was created by nature. I think this truly is a piece of art. And with these kinds of environments, with mountains and snow, provided a lot of benefits to the lifestyle of the local residents, such as rice and other regional cultures. But actually, the lifestyle of the people actually helped create this kind of scenery. Because of the koi, they had more fish ponds coming into play in the scenery. So this scenery was actually created by the Nishikigoi. So the Nishikigoi were created in this environment, but the scenery was created by Nishikigoi. And along with the development of the Nishikigoi industry, one element that played a great role was snow. And a person who was from Greece yesterday said that he wanted to experience snow. But here we have lots of snow. And this is from 2005. But as you can see, this is a two-storied house. The first floor is almost already covered entirely by snow. So this used to be common scenery in the winter season in Niigata. So you had to really dig your way into the house. And so today we have a lot of modern equipment to take care of the snow, but last year these people were confined and locked in to their villages for several months during the winter season. And the source of protein for those people, they were actually raising carp as food. So this is the prehistory of Nishikigoi. So these were sources of protein or food sources for the people who were locked in during the winter season. So who did this is something that there is a person who already started this.
So someone found some interesting koi, just only one, or maybe a few among black ones, and they thought the kois were so interesting and they shared the interest. So before they used to focus only on black carps, but now they started to focus on colored koi. So that was an epoch-making period. However, this kind of timing is not known. To survive, they were farming koi in rice paddies, and this kind of culture was born. This was accidental. And around 1874, this is Meiji era, this is one of the articles of the local newspapers. And Nishikigoi was taken up in this article. I am not going into the details, but they were selling koi to Tokyo. And the price of koi, as I calculate, it was very, very expensive. This is not the price for edible koi. So they were saying these were bred koi with colors for appreciation. And at the same time, in 1877, this is one of the newspaper articles as well, koi trading became very active. So around this timing, it was very popular, and it was a kind of commercial activity. That means the history of Nishigoi goes back more. However, there is no record of that. Maybe 200 years or so or more of history exists for Nishikigoi. The term Nishigoi itself was not born around this time. In 1877, depending on the pattern, the prices differed. And next year, the article says koi trading became speculative already around this time. So this was the target for trading, and koi market was born in Mushigame village. This is part of Nagaoka City. In 1880, around this time, koi dealers were born, and they have named different kois depending on the pattern, and they started to sell such kois. And 1890, this is an epoch-making year for Nishikigoi in city of Ojiya. The person called Kuzo Kosuke bred this red and white variety. This is Kohaku, and this is the origin of the modern Nishikigoi history. 1904, the end of Meiji era, Doitsu-goi without scales. In English, they call leather carp as well. Scaleless domestic carp were imported not by Niigata Prefecture. The government, the ministers of agriculture and commerce imported those carps, and the purpose was to develop those carps to make it edible. And we have a lot of Doitsu varieties, and it played such an important role to increase the variety. So Nishikigoi is integral to the traditional culture of this Niigata prefecture. But already we have imported technology and knowledge from other countries as well. In 1906, in Tokyo, Kichigoro Akiyama was a trader, and he traded Doitsu and Asagi. He made this Shusui variety by cross-breeding those two. As I mentioned before, they weren't called Nishikigoi yet in these days. They used to call them eccentric carp, kawarigoi, or irokoi, colored carp. There were more irokoi compared to kawarigoi, but kawarigoi was popular as well. But in Taisho era, they have formative period and incubation period and also globalization period. They have 4 periods of development of Nishikigoi. And from 2010 to 2020, this is a formative period for Nishikigoi. In 1912, koi show, even though they were small, they started to have competitive exhibitions. And in 1914, koi were exhibited at the Tokyo Taisho Exposition. So Nishikigoi started to be in the shows in Ueno, Tokyo. And this is a silver award.